I think we also have to try to deal with the issue of our broken criminal justice system. And if you think about the fact that in America there are more than 2 million people incarcerated in the country, that is a tremendous waste of human capital, tremendous waste of our economic resources, and results in a dramatic loss of human productivity. And so I've actually been pleased over the last several years that people on the left and on the right, progressives and conservatives, are finding their way toward common ground to deal with a criminal justice system that clearly is broken, and starting perhaps with the notion that we've had a failed war on drugs that has resulted in putting people behind bars far too often, and disproportionately African Americans and Latino men, but putting nonviolent drug abusers behind bars in a dramatic waste of taxpayer dollars in a manner that has proven to be ineffective from a criminal justice standpoint. As a member of the bipartisan task force on overcriminalization, chaired by Mr. Sensenbrenner from Wisconsin, and the Democratic leader of the effort was Bobby Scott, the distinguished gentleman from Virginia. One of the things that was striking as we moved forward with our exploration was the fact that in the federal system, more than 50% of the people who are currently incarcerated, more than 50%, are there for drug or substance abuse crimes. Only about 8% of the current occupants of federal prisons across America were convicted of violent crimes. Something is wrong with that picture. And I'm thankful, actually, that states, particularly in the Deep South, conservative states with Republican governors and Republican-held state legislative bodies, have recognized the failure of the excessive law and order policies brought to us in the late 80s and early 90s, the fact that it was costing their taxpayers dollars, wasting resources, and they've come together to reform the criminal justice system. It's happened in Texas. It's happened in South Carolina. It's happened in Alabama. It's happened in Kentucky. It's happened in Louisiana. It's happened in Georgia. Again, these aren't blue states. These aren't traditionally democratic states. These are traditionally conservative states recognizing the need for criminal justice reform. So I'm hopeful that as we move into the 114th Congress, we can find our way toward dealing with this issue. We've got senators from the other side of the aisle who've expressed an interest in tackling this issue. And we've got Democratic and Republican members of the House Judiciary Committee and beyond a willingness to try to fix our broken criminal justice system, to eradicate mandatory minimums, to restore discretion to judges, to focus less on punishment as it relates to nonviolent drug abusers, and to provide treatment and rehabilitation so we can help people successfully reenter into our society. We've got to finish the job as it relates to the disparity between crack and cocaine. It was 100 to 1. This Congress acted. It's now 18-1, but there's still no pharmacological reason for there to be any disparity between crack and cocaine. And we should make our reforms retroactive so we can free thousands of people unnecessarily behind bars right now for a law that this Congress has deemed to be unjust. Criminal justice reform, a third area where perhaps we can work together. And last